Good afternoon. Hey guys, how's it going? Coming to you from some remote corner of work on my lunch break. It's funny. I went through and I did some pitcher versus batter stuff last night. I'm gonna try and do this a couple times a week as it is pertinent. And thank you, Andrea. Thank you for letting me know I sound good. I'm coming to you through a mask, which is mandated here at work. But DFS is such a great part of this. DFS is going to be such a big part because we don't know what's going to happen the rest of the year. I know we have games today. So I'm going to be in DFS as much as I can from now until the end of the year, really, because this is what's fun, right? So I'm not going to give you a full lineup. I'm not going to try and do that every day. I think that's kind of counterproductive. It changes minute to minute, especially in this environment. But what I want to do is talk about how we're going to start by building our pitching, and then we're going to backfill with some guys who got really good stats that we can build off of, okay? So it's going to be a short show, but I do want to bring this to you. I think it's value added. I hope you guys think so as well. So pitching. We'll start there first. The high-end guys that I really like, and again, what I do when I'm talking about DFS is I like to break down, pick on poor offenses, okay? And the other thing I like to do is really identify, how you're going to construct your lineup around that. So, of course, you can go out and you could put Justin Verlander in there. He has a great matchup tonight versus Seattle. But when you do that, you're automatically minimizing the amount of money you could put in your offense, okay? So here are my bargains. I'm going to give you 3 bargains, and I'm going to give you 2 high-end guys for this evening's matchups, and then we'll build in some offense, okay? So the bargains. First guy I really like tonight, and I spoke about him last week on my show, is Joe Musgrove. Joe Musgrove is playing the Cardinals tonight. He's going up against Jack Flaherty, which I know doesn't sound like the most promising matchup, but Musgrove has added a slider, which gives an added plane that gave 6 pitches for him now. And again, it goes away from left-handed batters and into right-handed batters. He did not have that. His command and control is much improved. I look for Joe Musgrove tonight being a bargain matchup that you can use, especially if you're trying to add into your points, okay, into your offense rather, okay. The other guy, and this is my number one pitcher for the evening. This is the guy that I suggest the most. It's Ross Stripling, and he's playing San Francisco. So I'm picking on the Giants. I'm picking on the fact that the Giants aren't very good, and that's okay to do in DFS. Okay, I did it last night with Dustin May. I thought it was a great opportunity with the late scratch. I think it's another really good opportunity tonight for Ross Stripling against the Giants. He's my number one pitcher. He's the one I most suggest using for the evening. And the other bargain that I really like is Nate Eovaldi. Nate Eovaldi is the guy that, he's playing Baltimore. And let's be honest, guys. This is the haves and the have-nots. Yes, Boston is depleted. They're not as good as they have been. But they're still light years ahead of where Baltimore is. And fact of the matter is, Eovaldi's directly in line for a win versus this poor Baltimore team right now. Okay? So, all he has to go through, Andrea, is 5. And if he keeps his walks down, if he keeps his rates down, I think that he adds a lot of things. The talent is certainly there that he can pay out. Again, you put Stripling in to try and get that extra big bat in the lineup or 2 big bats in the lineup. It makes a big difference when you put a middle-tier priced pitcher in versus a top-tier guy. So the high-end pitchers, I want to talk about 2 guys specifically. The first guy, he's my number 2 suggested pitcher for the night, is Shane Bieber. Shane Bieber's playing Kansas City tonight, and I think that's a great opportunity for him. I think he racks up strikeouts. I think he goes deep into the game, and I think there's a really good chance that he picks up a win and can get you 20 to 30 points tonight. Now, you're going to have to pay up for him. And I'm sorry, this is a learning process. I will provide you numbers. I have numbers for bats. I don't have the numbers for the pitching right now. As we go on, I think that Shane Bieber is definitely worth the investment tonight in any DFS format that you're looking at because of the likelihood of the win. Okay. The other high-end guy that I'd suggest is Verlander versus Seattle. So, again, Verlander is one of those guys that early on in the year we might not have invested a whole lot in, but I love the fact that he loves to compete. He's playing, again, a bad offense that you can pick on. And again, if you're in a scenario where you have guys that are cheap that you can plug in there, you should use Verlander, okay? Now, offensively, this is the important part, right? Because I think as we go through this and we start to understand what we're looking at, I love to look at pitcher versus batter statistics. That's what I love to do. But the thing about that is, the thing I would caution you guys on is don't think too much into it. Because pitchers change, batters change. Approaches are different from year to year, bat to bat, right? So when I tell you this, some of it is is to be taken, and other parts of it you maybe want to push back. Okay, I'll give you some examples of that. The first guy I want to talk about, this guy is definitely something that you want to take into account. I play FanDuel. In FanDuel, they have that catcher first base position, but I love this play tonight. James McCann at $2,300 is 8 for 24 with 2 doubles, 4 homers, and a .333 batting average versus Jose Barrios. All of these guys that are cheaper guys, I will caution you have to make sure they're in their starting lineup. If you want to win at DFS, you have to make sure that your players are active. That's the most important thing, okay? But aside from that, it's identifying guys like James McCann that you can put in there, and you can save yourself $1,500 just by making that change at the first base position. Because that's, again, in FanDuel, it is catcher first base. And that's important. The second guy I want to talk about, and this is a must play, in my humble opinion. Carlos Santana tonight is $3,200. The Indians play Kansas City, as I mentioned earlier. Santana is 16 for 36 with a double, a triple, and 3 homers against Danny Duffy. He's batting .444 against him. Guys, Santana is a must play tonight. And $3,200 isn't going to break the bank. It's a little on the high side, but he's certainly an option. Okay? The third guy I want to talk about offensively, also a first baseman, Dan Murphy. So here I've given you 3 catcher first basemen to pick from, right? Ranging from $2,300 for McCann to $3,200 for Santana. Murphy at $2,900 seems to be swinging a good stick right now. He has a good history against Lance Lynn. He's 8 for 20 career with 2 doubles, a homer, and a .400 batting average. And he parked one just the other night when I was watching him. So I really do like what Daniel Murphy brings to the table. They are playing at Texas. If they're playing in Colorado, it would also add an extra boost. But I like Dan Murphy. I think he's being undervalued. And at $2,900, I totally endorse putting him in your lineup. At second base, I love Mike Moustakas tonight. They're going against Matt Boyd, Detroit. He's 8 for 21 lifetime with 3 doubles, a homer, and a .381 batting average. Moustakas loves facing Boyd. And this is why he's a little bit expensive, but this is why when you're building your lineup, you want to start with your pitcher, and you want to try and get the cheapest pitcher, normally, the cheapest pitcher that you feel confident in. Okay? So you can get guys like Mike Moustakas in here. $3,600. I think you have to put him in tonight. The next 2 guys, the last 2 guys I'm going to talk about today, the first one is a must play. You have to play JD Martinez tonight. He is $3,900, but it is well worth it. They're facing Tommy Milone, who's terrible. He's a left-handed pitcher. JD Martinez lifetime is 6 of 18 with a double and 2 homers and a .333 batting average off of Tommy Milone. But add into that the fact that, again, Malone's a left-handed pitcher. Last year, J.D. Martinez led all batters against left-handed pitching with 19 homers. He was second with a 4.04 average against lefties last year. That's significant. He is a must-play tonight, guys. You have to play J.D. Martinez. You could play J.D. Martinez in the outfield. I personally would suggest doing that. Nelson Cruz is the guy I'd put at DH. At 3,600, he is a good value. He's 5 of 12 with 3 homers and a .417 batting average against Lucas Giolito. Now, I will caution you. Lucas Giolito is a changed pitcher. Some of these numbers could be skewed. Giolito changed his delivery last year. It changed his approach. So, I say put Nelson Cruz in there, but if you want to steer clear of him because of that, I would also be all right with that. So there I gave you 6 batters. Other guys that I'm looking at, other guys that I really like. I love Keston Hiura, 3,300 versus the Cubs tonight. He's swinging a mean stick in summer camp. I love Jose Peraza versus, I'm picking on the Orioles tonight. I love Jose Peraza. He's another one of those guys at $2,500. Seems to be capable of taking advantage of that weak pitcher in Baltimore. And I love Rafa Devers tonight. Rafa Devers, for me, at $3,600, seems to be a really smart investment. So there you have it. Again, I'm going to try and do this a couple times a week as I have time. But you know, again, with the volatile situation of this current fantasy league, I think it's really important that we're all really taking advantage of daily fantasy sports, because guess what? Tomorrow, I'll know how I did tonight. Okay? So, for those of you that didn't hear this morning, I'm running a show, DFS league out there. As soon as it fills up, if we get more interest in it, I'll make it bigger as we go through. But a couple times a week, I'm going to run a Chaps Fantasy Chat league. It'll be basically top 3 place, small fee to get in, but it will be fun. So go over. I'll share the link here in a minute. Go over and get signed in. I really enjoy doing this, so I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Chaps Fantasy Chat Tuesday nights at 7. Chappy and Arnie Baseball Tuesday nights at 9. Lenny Melnick Fantasy Sports Network. Love all you guys. Take care. Be safe. Bye.